Robbo, just when you thought Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel had things back under control again, what do a few days ahead of this, with all the turmoil off the pitch happening with Roman Abramovich and the sale, which we'll get to in a minute? What do? They play at home against little Brentford, the stadium by the bus stop, a few minutes away, and they lose 4-1 just a few days ahead of that huge clash against Real Madrid.
Yes, and Chelsea didn't start the game particularly well. It started with Mendy with a pass out from the back. He gives it away and Tony should score and lifts it over him. And from that moment on, you just felt Chelsea were on edge. They didn't defend particularly well. There's a couple of crosses that came into the box. They were loose all around the field. They didn't play with enough pace when they were going forward, enough invention when they were going forward. He started with Ziyech, who I really like, on the right-hand side. Timo Werner's still not the player, nowhere near the player he was when he was playing in Germany. And Havertz playing as the centre forward. I know people like him as a centre forward. I still don't see him as an out-and-out centre forward. So I thought they struggled throughout the game. Yes, they got the opening goal through Rudiger, a magnificent shot. But overall, although they had more possession, they had, I think, 71%, they didn't create any more chances than Brentford did. And Brentford probably deserved their victory.
Also, this formation with this back four, just never looks...
No.
It doesn't look... I mean, the advantage of the back four, in Chelsea's view, and obviously this is forced because of Chilwell, and James came on, but he's not fully fit. The advantage of the back four, I presume, is that you've got wingers who can put in crosses, right? You've got more width and so on, because your two fullbacks end up basically being center backs playing at fullback, right?
Yeah.
Although he did have Alonso playing, to be fair, but it looks like he didn't exploit it, and I wonder if some of that is also to do with what was happening in the middle of the park, where there was no Jorginho, but you had Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who's just a completely different type of player.
Well, I've seen Chelsea play with the back four in a couple of FA Cup games, and with Ziyech and Azpilicueta down the right-hand side, and they've usually worked quite well together. But Alonso was the player that was trying to get forward. Azpilicueta was trying to get forward as well to try and overlap and create the overload, and it left them at the centre half position, a little bit open at times. And Loftus-Cheek, I don't think, has got a great defensive understanding. Conte, I thought, would be the player to play in the holding role, but he was playing one side of Loftus-Cheek, and Loftus-Cheek was meant to be that holding player to go between his centre halves and provide that extra bit of cover. And he didn't do that particularly well. And the centre halves, for once, and I think Thiago Silva's been magnificent throughout the season, didn't play at his best, and Rudiger likewise didn't see the danger, and they were looking around at everybody else. Alonso wasn't quite back in position at times when crosses were coming into the box, so it was a disjointed display by Chelsea, and one that I didn't really see coming.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.